The school courtyard is buzzing. A hand-painted banner reads, "Celebrating Voices." Reporters cluster near the entrance. A sleek black sedan idles at the curb. Students crowd the steps. A hush passes through the crowd as the sedan door opens. MIA, standing on the sidewalk, arms folded, barely looking at the school. "I'm not doing it." Jonathan, stepping out, immaculate, practice smile under strain. "Mia, please." It's 5 minutes. Say a few words. For the school. For me. MIA for you? No. Not that kind of speech. Not today. Principal Ramos, trying to be calm while whispering into a phone. "We need this to go smoothly." Reporters. Donors. The board. "Can someone, please, Mr. Hale, Mia, Jonathan." Softening, then resolute. "This isn't a negotiation. You're going up on stage, Mia. We don't make scenes." MIA, sharp scenes? You build them for your image. "I won't be another prop in your press release." A murmur ripples through the gathered students. Cameras click. Mr. Elias, carrying a stack of student folders, steps down from the school steps. He watches Mia with a steady, gentle gaze. Mr. Elias, Mia. MIA, without turning, "Not now." Mr. Elias, walking closer. "I promised you I'd listen. You promised me you'd never let money buy your silence. Which promise do you want to keep?" MIA, both? Neither? I'm tired of choosing. Jonathan, "Excuse me, can I have a word with the teacher?" Away from, gestures toward the press, later. "We can arrange something." Mr. Elias, to Jonathan, "If this is about the donation, we can talk about that in private. Right now, the kids are ready. They practiced for months." Jonathan, annoyed, "You campaigned on this being a community event." "We'll make it a community event." Mia will speak, Mr. Elias. "We have cameras. We have the foundation expecting a statement." MIA, to her father, "Demands don't make statements meaningful." Mr. Elias looks between father and daughter. He reaches into his folder, pulls out a thin receipt, a chipped pencil, a faded photograph of a playground with a rusted swing. He hands them to Mia without speaking. She stares, fingers tracing the edges. Mr. Elias, low, "I'm not here to be part of a press release either. But I do know how to make people listen." "Are you asking me to make him listen?" MIA, bite, "That's the impossible. Make him listen and mean it." Mr. Elias, a wry smile, "Impossible's a habit. I broke a few." Principal Ramos clears her throat. Students shuffle. The microphone is set. Jonathan checks his watch. Reporters angle for a good shot. The principal motions for quiet. Principal Ramos, "Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. We have special guests, members of the community, and a presentation from our students. We'll begin." A student named Tessa steps forward, clutching a small, battered notebook. Tessa, nervous, "This is my grandmother's notebook. She wrote down every time a company said they'd fix things and didn't. I kept it so I wouldn't forget. My father had to leave his job when the plant closed. He couldn't find work that paid the bills. My little brother missed 4 doctor appointments because we couldn't afford the bus." A hush. A few people in the crowd shift. Jonathan's jaw tightens. Gabe, next taller, hands shaking. "My aunt lost her home to foreclosure because the new development raised rents. They say it's progress. Progress doesn't call and tell you it won't feed your kids." Slow montage of students. A science experiment that failed when funding disappeared. A playground photo recollection. A teacher, Mr. Elias, covering for a student who had to work after school to help at home. Each story lands like a pebble in a quiet pond. The principal watches, eyes wet. Jonathan sits rigid, fingers clenched. When the last student finishes, Mr. Elias steps to the front. He doesn't bring a script. He doesn't wear anything but a threadbare cardigan and a weathered smile. Mr. Elias, "Thank you." He pauses. "I don't usually talk about myself. I teach math, which is supposed to be neat and certain. These kids don't need math to know what happens when someone's not listened to. They live it. I hear it every day." He pulls out a small envelope, stands with it like a talisman. Mr. Elias, quiet, 10 years ago, I had a different idea of what a lesson could be. I was angry. Angry at companies that cut corners. Angry at people who close doors. I thought money was the answer. I applied to every grant. I asked for more and more until I forgot why I was asking. He looks directly at Jonathan for the first time, unblinking. The cameras swing. Mr. Elias. I took money once from a donor who wanted cameras in the classroom for a showcase. We put on a great show. The kids smiled on cue. I told them how lucky they were. The cameras left. The programs didn't. I learned something. Promises written in press releases have a shelf life. People, adults, are good at saying they'll help. They're worse at staying. Mia watches, her hands clenched. The crowd leans in. Jonathan's face is pale as sheet music. Mr. Elias, so this is my wager. You can offer money today and be on the front page tomorrow. Or you can listen. Really listen. I can give you 5 minutes, Mr. Hale. 5 minutes to sit down, no handlers, no prepared remarks, no speeches. You will hear one story after another from these kids. They'll show you what your decisions look like when they hit home. Jonathan's posture constricts, but he does not stand. The attendant by his side whispers. Mia's eyes flick to her father, then to Mr. Elias. Jonathan, measured. You're asking me to be judged by a group of teenagers. Mr. Elias, I'm asking you to be human for 5 minutes. Sit. Breathe. Let them speak. If you still want to make a donation after, then you'll know it's not for show. Mia steps forward, voice low. MIA, if he doesn't, if he sits there like a statue, I'll never speak on that stage. Not for applause. Not for money. I won't be used. There is a ripple of anticipation. Someone shouts, "Do it," from the crowd. Jonathan rubs at his face, a flicker of something beneath the public armor. Jonathan, after a long beat, fine. 5 minutes. No cameras. Principal Ramos, protesting, "Sir, the media, Jonathan. Not in the auditorium. We do it here. Quiet. Close the doors." A hush. Reporters glance at each other, disappointed. The principal takes a breath and signals for the auditorium doors to be closed. Students and staff herd the crowd inside. Jonathan sits in the front row, rigid. His publicist hovers like a shadow at the back. The stage lights dim. Mr. Elias turns toward the students. Mr. Elias, remember, this isn't about making him feel guilty. It's about telling the truth. We speak our truth when we can. We'll do it plain, one at a time. They begin. Short testimonies. The bus that stopped running through their neighborhood. The clinic that closed after company cuts. The family dinner table missing one more drumbeat. With each voice, a pattern emerges. Decisions made far away have names here. Names like Tess, Gabe, Rosa. When the clock hits the agreed 4-minute mark, Jonathan shifts, visibly affected but still composed. Mr. Elias takes a breath and does something unexpected. He steps to the center and kneels, not theatrically, but as if setting something down. Mr. Elias, soft. When I was a boy, my mother worked 3 jobs. We ate together sometimes, and sometimes we didn't. Once, I stole an apple from a stand because I couldn't look at another hungry night. I got caught. The owner laughed and said, "You're just another number." I never forgot that face. He opens his hands, palms up. Mr. Elias, I have felt like a number. A line item. A grant application. I wanted to change that for these kids. I still do. But wanting doesn't mean anything if we don't do the hard work. If the adults who can choose where to spend money don't have to be accountable, then promises become performances. He looks at Jonathan again, no accusation, just a mirror. Mr. Elias, I'm not asking you to feel guilt. I'm asking you, as a human being, to hear this. The choices your company makes change lives in ways you can't see from a boardroom. Will you commit to something tangible today? Not a press release, not a ribbon cutting, a real long-term partnership with oversight from the community and the school. Not your logo on a banner, but a seat at the table for the parents and teachers who know the work. The auditorium is so quiet you can hear breathing. Jonathan's eyes water. He blinks it away like impatience. Jonathan, voice small, you want oversight. From parents. From teachers. You want transparency. Mr. Elias, I want change. And I want you to listen for more than the sound of applause. Jonathan stands up. For a second, the world holds its breath. He moves to the microphone unguarded. The publicist looks ready to stop him. Jonathan waves her away. Jonathan, without his corporate mask. I grew up with one idea of how the world works. Work hard, succeed, give back a little, and everything will be fine. My life, he falters, my life made me forget a lot. I have led companies that made decisions nobody wanted to think about. We thought we could fix things with numbers. It turns out numbers aren't enough. He looks at Mia. Her jaw tightens. He looks back at Mr. Elias. Jonathan, taking a breath, I could offer money now. I could put my name on a wing and go on panels. I realized listening was a step I haven't taken. For that, I'm sorry. Murmurs. The words are small but sincere. Students exchange looks. A teacher in the back wipes her eyes. Jonathan clears his throat and reaches into his jacket. He produces a checkbook. Gasps run through the auditorium. Principal Ramos, whispering, Mr. Hale, you don't have to. Jonathan, raising a hand, it's not for a ribbon. He turns the checkbook toward Mr. Elias. I'm not a man of many small, quiet gestures. But I will sign here, with terms written by the people who feel the impact. I will pledge $5 million over 5 years to a program run by the community, with independent oversight. No logo, no front-page photo, unless the community wants it. No strings. For job training, for the clinic, for real after-school programs. But more than that, I will sit with the board you choose. I will listen. Mia's face is a storm. She blinks, then looks at Mr. Elias. He closes his eyes for a beat, then looks up. He walks to Jonathan and extends his hand. The two men shake, one calloused from deals, the other from chalk dust. Cameras flash outside. Inside, the kids clap, tentative at first, then loud. MIA, standing, voice steady. I don't want the applause. I don't want a photo op. I want something true. She steps to the microphone, slow. When people look at me, they see my last name and imagine everything I didn't have to earn. They think my thoughts are polished, and my feelings are paid for. None of that is true. Being part of this family taught me things, how to be careful about what I say, and who I am when I'm not being watched. It taught me that silence is an easy way to keep a place in the world. She looks at her father, then at Mr. Elias, then at the sea of faces. MIA, I refuse because I didn't want to stand in front of you and pretend the only thing I needed was to be grateful. I wanted my words to mean something. I wanted them to change something. Mr. Elias did the impossible, not because he wanted me on a stage, but because he wanted the truth heard. He took 5 minutes and turned them into the beginning of accountability. She takes a breath, then softer. I'm speaking for the people who are told their problems are not news. For Tess. For Gabe. For every kid who learned to swallow their hunger because someone else decided it didn't matter. My father is going to try to fix what he neglected. He will likely fail sometimes. He will likely make mistakes. But today, I choose to believe he will try.